With a few hours playing UFC 5, I can confirm that it's one of the most ambitious UFC fighting games to date. How is that possible? I'm about to let you know. Here's a deep dive into UFC 5. I'm about to go off like a weapon, fuel to the top. The first thing I feel like everybody should know is the fact that if you have EA Play on PlayStation or Xbox, EA Sports is allowing you to play this game for 10 hours free. Now, back to the video. First things first, let's discuss the fighter type. It all goes between kickboxer, boxer, MMA, wrestler, and jiu-jitsu. For the kickboxer, you have the sniper, the razor, and the acrobat. For the boxer, you have the powerhouse, the pressure, and the showboat. For the MMA, you have the top dog, the engine, the versatile. For wrestler, you have the dominator, the smasher. Last but not least, jiu-jitsu is the shark and the vanguard. I went with the boxer showboat because I like, to stand on my feet and just throw the ones instead of putting people into the submission, because I cannot stand the submission system. But that's just a pet peeve of mine. As soon as you finish your character customization, you will be thrown into a backyard octagon. This is how you start the career mode. So if you've played UFC 4, I'm not sure about UFC 3, I don't think that option was in there, but if you played UFC 4, then the backyard octagon shouldn't be nothing new to you. You pretty much just throw the ones with a random, and this is how you get discovered, and you'll probably do like some petty octagon fights, and then eventually you'll get a contract from Dana White. Once you sign that contract, you will then be a part of the UFC roster, and then you pretty much have to duke it out and fight your way up the chain to becoming the champion. This happens in every UFC game, so my career or the career mode of this game, I gotta tell you, is nothing really different. The only thing different about it is, the injury system, and I guess, the new engine that they put it on to make it look hyper realistic with the physics, I guess. I also want to touch on the different game styles. That's knockout, stand and bang, competitive, simulation, or custom. There are multiple different game modes that you can play in, just like there are multiple different game styles. The game modes are main card, main event, championship, backyard, and Q-Might. More of a deep dive in the backyard. There is literally the amount of detail that goes into this part of the game is absolutely insane. I knocked out John Jones and put him on his back, and his face was full of blood. Because it's wet, damp grass, you can see his blood on my back because he had put me in a submission. The amount of detail that wasn't in things like UFC 4, 3, 2, or the very first one. The Kumai Temple is literally a open-centered octagon, kind of like Backyard, but themed as an old 80s karate movie. I felt like the Karate Kid throwing punches and kicks at my opponent, as the sound effects sound like I'm fresh out of an 80s movie. My last UFC 5 video, I explained that this year will be a little different when it came to critical body parts. In certain situations where if your eye bleeds or your mouth is swollen, that the ref will stop the different matches. And in this situation right here, if you look at his health bar, you can see that his eye is in severe damage and it's bleeding profusely. And as I keep on attacking his eye, the ref comes in and will stop the fight. Is this a W? I feel like it is. Now, the only thing that's really irritating about this is that in UFC 4, I could beat this guy's face into a pulp and nobody would stop. But that is irritating if you're trying to one up on this guy, if you're online or whatever, you got some trash talking online, some nice toxic gameplay going here. You can't really go all out because the ref is going to stop the fight. But ground pounds are still here in the game. Like you saw in the last clip, when I was on top of John Jones, I was just beating his face in, but that was backyard. It's not really a ref out there, most likely. It's mostly, your friend. In my last UFC video, I spoke on the cinematic replays debuting in UFC 4, and here is, a couple of them here. The detail in this is absolutely insane. You can see the sweat fly off his face. It really reminds you of peak fight night. Once again, a lovely way to gloat online if you're playing an online match or if you have some friends over. There's a perfect way to rub what you did to them in their face. You know what I mean? A perfect addition to the game. So put down in the comment section, let me know what you feel about the game. Have you played it yet? Are you going to play it at all? Compare it to other UFC games that you played or other MMA games, and yeah, let me know. You know how we get down in the comment section, man. We let each other know how we feel. We give each other pointers, and then we move forward. As I play the game and continue to play the game, I'll come up with like the best builds for you guys. Let me know if you want to see that. And yeah, it's been your boy Living Jordan, and I'm gonna catch you in the next video, man. Happy fighting. I'm out.